Wop, you know what it is. Guess who's back? Yo, coming out with another vlog. Today is Sunday. I think we're in June. Don't even know. This is how messed up it is. Anyway, Ipswich today. There's a rally protest for Black Lives Matter. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, coffee. Catch you on the other side. Woo. Woo! Hey. I do it for love. Yeah. I do it for the love, Yes, I do. So you don't care about the money? Well, yes, it's true. Yes. We're now walking out to the protest. Mad people out. Lee. Got Dan. Ramirez. See the sign. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, hopefully you'll go peacefully. If not, see you on the other side. You know what it is.
At all, it's going to be embedded in our psyche. I saw one post that says, I dream blackness, I dream black. That's a powerful psyche, that you dream black. And there's some other posters that says, racism is a pandemic too. Isn't it interesting that this man, we've heard it before, said, I can't breathe. We've heard it before, people. Is that not an echo? We've heard it before. So when he said, I can't breathe, and we look at what the pandemic virus actually does, what the COVID virus does, it snuffs out the life out of our lungs. And there is no voice. There is no voice. There is no voice. But you know what? We are the voice today. Let us remember George Floyd in a very profound way. To me, he's a sacrifice. It need not have happened, but he was a sacrifice. In the gospel circles, there's a song, it says, it only takes a spark to get a fire going, and then soon all those around will warm up to its glowing. This is what we've done. We've warmed up to that spark. We've warmed up to that spark. So when George died and he gave out his last breath, he was exhaling. We were breathing in. And we will say, no more, enough is enough. This has gone beyond us. I don't know whether some of you knew the story about a hospitality worker in America. We have to take a stand. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was formed in 1948. When the war had just ended, there were terrible wars, and one of two, they said the first one, there'll never be another war, but there was. And they came out with this declaration that they will fight against the discrimination. And then, and this is to us now, the International Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Racism was formed as an ideology in 1965. Our country took a mark on that only in 1969, that's not long. And yet it lies as a dormant piece of document. This is what I'm saying. There are all these policies and paperwork that don't mean a thing. We need to revisit those things and make them live. We need to know that we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation with those that are in power so that we can make a difference on those. So what can we do?
Freedom. But still I feel controlled. I think it's time to break free and destroy the mold. I think it's time to break free and fulfill your goals. Never listen to the liars. Let the truth be told. We only look into the eyes of a world we know. But where did all the Martin Luthers and the Malcolms go? Where did all the role models and the fathers go? I got my family, but still I feel alone. If you look into the eyes of a man with a broken soul, look into the eyes of that man, you can see the toll. Too many young people lost, don't know where to go. But how's a boy supposed to understand what he doesn't know? And cause sex sells, should a girl then become a hoe? If you look into the eyes of a child, you can see tomorrow. We struggle to provide, so we have to borrow. Debt, pain and sorrow, now your heart is hollow. Giving up on life, cause and effect. You never know what you have until there's nothing left. We don't appreciate life till there's been a death. People commit suicide in the spite of stress. It's like we're running out of pride. Is there any left? I think we must have misread the signs. It's a game of chess. I struggled to survive, but survived through the struggle. I spent a lot of time trying to make my money double. Addicted to the hustle, ended up in lots of trouble, and subsequently went to prison. Yeah, I did a couple. Incarceration couldn't stop me though. It made me smarter. It made me think about the things in life that I would rather. But being rich don't make it easy, it just makes it harder. And being poor don't slow me down, it just makes me faster. It made me think about the things in life I truly need. No longer consumed by the greed for the things I see. Your ignorance will only allow you to be deceived. So many unanswered questions. So what do you believe? And materialism is a trap. We're the pawns, it's a fact. Can't you see it's a war? Let's attack. And I ain't finished yet. I'm only getting started. If you're feeling lost, home is where your heart is. I've got to speak my mind. I don't mean no disrespect. Listen to the message. This is not a threat. We need to reunite. That's how we be the best, to conquer and divide. That only leads to death. So what's the point in killing if we're going to die? And what's the point in talking if you're going to lie? I'm running out of air. I need to catch my breath. I think all of us need to find some self-respect. Thank you. But what I do know for certain is when I was a young man growing up, I was very ignorant. And I used to wake up every single day. And if anybody ever wanted or needed something from me, my only question was, what's in it for me? Where did that way of thinking come from? From as young as about 12 years old, up until maybe 25, that's how I thought. What's in it for me? You want to be in a relationship with me? What's in it for me? You want to make money with me? What's in it for me? You need a favor? What's in it for me? And then I realized, I went through a transition in my life where I realized the whole meaning and purpose of life is to be of service. To be of service to your community. To be of service to your siblings. To be of service to your family, to your friends, to your employees. And if you're not of service to anybody, what's the purpose of your existence? The feeling of being a parent. I'm a father of a 7-year-old. And the fact that I am absolutely certain that he's going to need me to teach him how to survive in this corrupt world means my life is not just about my own desires. I understand a lot of people are angry. I've been angry for a long time. And for too long it held me back. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be angry. But what I'm saying is, love and compassion conquers much more than hatred. I'm going to be transparent. I'm in the process of going through a divorce. I ain't going to lie. It's got to be the most emotional experience I've ever had in my life. It is challenging. And the amount of emotions that build up over a long period of time can collapse you. Many men have committed suicide. Many women have suffered oppression in their relationships in silence to the point of death. No matter how angry I am, it's always my ability to find love in dark places that have kept me going. It stopped me from making repeated mistakes. I look in the mirror every day and I tell myself that I am responsible for the change that I want to see in my community. I'm going to leave you with just a story. I used to work for the Prince's Trust. They were based on Prince's Street in town. And I started smoking. So I went outside for a cigarette. And whilst I was standing outside having a cigarette, this woman approached me. And I could see she was very distressed. And I was a bit concerned that she was heading directly for me. I knew there was going to be some kind of an issue. So she came up to me and asked me for a cigarette. I politely said I left my packet upstairs, which was honest. I only had what I was smoking. Instantly, she started to call me all sorts of names under the sun. You people make me sick. You disgust me. You come into our country, rare. And part of me wanted to revert back to my 17-year-old mentality and tell her about herself. But then I paused and thought, well, what would that achieve? Would she learn anything? Would I learn anything? So I said, okay, let me try something different. She went storming off, and while she was doing that, she turned around and she spat at me. Unfortunately for her, she must have been dehydrated because the spit didn't go very far. So I called her back and I said, listen, I said, first and foremost, it's too early to be this angry. And I said, if I wasn't a humble person, you might have found yourself in a different situation. I said, I'm going to go and get you a cigarette. So I went upstairs and I said to myself, I quit. I went back downstairs, I gave her the whole pouch. I gave her £10 and I took her to buy a sandwich and we had a chat. She started crying. She told me her eldest son had just gone to prison. She said her other 2 kids had been taken away from her. She said she felt like her life was falling apart. And every time she looks on TV, all she sees is coloured people entertaining the rest of the world. Most of her children are into urban music. The issue isn't just the corporations. You are what you consume. If you want to be your best self, you need to consume things that make you your best self. And then go out into your community and distribute that same education. I pledge to everybody today, as long as I breathe, I may still make mistakes, but I will do everything in my power to make sure I contribute towards society. Thank you very much.
It's mad that we keep having to do this every, 3-5 years, just to prove that black, every day. It's mad, man. The struggle is crazy, but I wrote a verse, I've been writing it for the whole week, about everything that I've been seeing. It's the only way I can really process through it. I don't really talk about it that much, but the best way I did it was just through writing this. Yo, I need some peace. Murders everywhere got me anxious out on the streets. Popo killing brothers, leaving most of us in grief. Stories in the news got me reeling in disbelief. Need to find myself release. Another loved one had to say goodbye. Another slaying on our streets, another taking life. Another nutter that's trying to decide the day we die. I pray the Lord watches over us, we will ready to rise. Look, oh Father, let's set us free. No, you won't let this be. I need a memorable miracle that's so heavenly. In 2020, we're still living in society where if you're black or coloured, they be thinking we're the enemy. My skin is the darkest, I'm seen as a target. 400 years of slavery is where it started. 1833 is where they claim it was abolished. I see racism around, but it rarely is acknowledged. I see all my brothers dying, all my sisters crying. To the hands of law forces, that's never abiding. We ain't even fighting. They're shooting us like animals, they're claiming that we're violent. I feel the mood is changing. We're trying to win our battles, but our wounds are aching. I'm looking at the top and I see foolish faces that just filled an institution full of ruthless racists. So I say, rest in peace to George Floyd. Living in our memories, the legacy you left. Daughter's gonna grow up knowing daddy was the best, but I really hate the cycle and I really need the rest. So I'm kneeling on his neck. He's choking, man, he can't breathe. Feeling sick to my stomach from all the shit I'm seeing. Look, but this thing is not a pattern. Man, I see it all the time and it's a problem and a pattern. And I feel disgusted to the lack of justice, to the people of our colour, man. I'm thinking, what's this? All the things you put us through, what we've got is just this. If it really weren't for us, then you wouldn't have got rich. You're playing a dangerous game. There's so many other victims, gotta say their names. I'm talking Belly Virginia, David McAfee, Stephen Lawrence, Sarah Reid, Shakira Abdi. Like, when I was young, I would hate to go to school, because every other day I was racially abused. Tensions started rising, I would get into a feud. Happened right in front of teachers, there was nothing they would do. I would get degraded with jokes full of hatred. There's many ways to bring you down, then we get creative. Ipswich is the racist and I hate to say it. We all need it, education is the way to change it. Let me tell you what is hurting me. Grouping us as black is just ignoring our diversity. There's, fuck me, man. Sorry, I couldn't finish it, but yeah, you get the gist. But thank you very much to everyone coming. This can't just keep happening all the time, man. Like, this is rooted. It's disgusting. It's filthy. It's every time. This has to change. But thank you to everyone coming. Thank you.
Part of a couple of words that I just want everybody to be able to say. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. I want to hear all of you say that. Ready? No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. One more time. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. Listen, I'm here, 20 years old, right? I be going to school. You know, I hear people calling me monkey, gorilla, ape, gollywag. Yeah, they calling me nigger. When did we let that be acceptable? When did we say to our children, that's all right, you're going to go to school one day, you're going to be called monkey. You know, for our mixed race people, you're going to be called lighty, light skin, half caste. What does that even mean? Are we only half white on Tuesday, half black on Wednesday? What's going on here? I've come here to say, even though it's raining, I'll be quick.
First off, black, we're the coolest race on the planet. I don't care what anyone says, yeah? Sorry, we are the coolest race on the planet. I believe that. George Floyd, man. I watched the video one time, never again. That's enough for me, yeah? What I will say is Ipswich, I can only talk about Ipswich because this is where I live. We have a big black community. I've always said that we weren't close enough. We were, as it gets for the Caribbean Club, we don't have that no more. I believe that them things can come again. But if there's ever a time where we're going to come together, it's now. Not just today, where we're standing here today, you know, it's about tomorrow, what goes on after that. Obviously, I'm a father myself, yes, I've got half a football team, I've got 5 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls, yeah. Love them all. My brother, my mother, all my family. But trying to think, man. This is tough, man. It's crazy. But going forward, we have local businesses. I'm not going to talk about myself. There's loads of different businesses and stuff like that. We need to stick together. We need to work together. Start putting our own money into our own stuff and investing in the town. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, with the kids, you know what? I had to laugh though. Let's be honest. If you took black out in the world right now, black culture, and no disrespect to no one, you've got nothing. Yeah. No, this is real, you know. Our entertainment, like, it's not about just TV and stuff like that. Like, when kids grow up now, I think me and Echo were talking about this the other day. Kids, when they grow up nowadays, say, there's not handshakes no more. It's touches, it's spuds, you get what I'm saying? The way people talk now. I'm not, do you know what I mean? Everything is us now. This is factional. Whether you want to stand in, you know, you may not come buy food for me again, I don't know, whatever. But I'm just going to be real with you, yeah? That's how I look at things, that's how I view stuff, yeah? I believe in my community. I've always believed in my people, yeah? I try and do things with the community. I believe going forward that we will do more and bigger things. As you know, as far as like with mental health and that as well, we have a project called the Ipswich Project. You need to support that. If you ain't supporting that, you need to go on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, there's people here that are repping, they're putting in the work. That is a massive project, yeah. When this, sorry, I was about to swear, you know, mind my language. When this is done, yeah, believe me, yeah, that's a big project. And you need to follow that. You need to support that because it's something, you know, it's something that's needed. And yeah, I don't even know what to say, you know, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, you know. I appreciate you guys calling me to come down here and talk. I don't really like talking on big stages like this, you know, but, you know, it's nice to see everybody and just hope that we just stick together and just, you know, do better, man. Simple. Curtis, I love your speech though, yeah?
To start with a story when I was younger. In my school, I used to go to school in Colchester before Ipswich. And I know, and I hope all of you know, a child cannot be born racist. No one can be born racist. That is what people tell you. You cannot be born racist. I'm telling you that now. I remember the conversation I had with my mother because I know how it started. I was at school. I did not know I was coloured. I did not know I was black. I didn't know I was dark, right? I didn't know anyone was white. You don't know that when you're young. I went and I asked the popular kids, because I wasn't a popular kid at school when I was younger. I said, can I play with you guys? They said no. Just like that guy had said before, and my brother had said before. I asked, can I play with you guys? They said no. I asked why? Because my parents said so. I asked, what did your parents say? They said, if you want to play with us, you have to give us 50p. They said, you have to pay us if you want to play with us. And I did not know what was going on. I didn't know. How could I know? Because I haven't been told. I went home and I spoke to my mum. I asked her, I told her that she was upset, my dad. And they were telling me, you need to know because you are different. You need to know. I remember the conversation, my mum was telling me that I am different. Because I didn't know. You're not born knowing. That is what society tells you. You are not born knowing. I remember the conversation that my mother told me when I was dark, when I was coloured, when I was black. She told me that. So we need to start educating our children, because how can you make the right decision if you don't have all the facts? How can you make the right decision if you don't know? You can't. You can't make the right decision. Now I want to ask you again, the change we have to make, we have to integrate lessons of our culture, lessons of black history, lessons of Asian history, lessons of Chinese, Middle Eastern history into our curriculum. Because children need to know. Children need to know. They can't grow up not knowing with the wrong information. They need to know. Then they can make the right decisions. We need to email our PMs, tell them what we want. And I want to ask you, the thing with England, the thing I've learned, is in America it's prominent, but in the UK, it's a gap. It's a gap in the UK. It's subtle. You can't see it. You can't touch it. You can't see it, but you can feel it. You can feel that gap because it's there. It's subtle, but it's punctuated. There's a full stop right on the end of it, because you can feel it. And it's in the air, it's like dust. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's like coronavirus. It is, it's like coronavirus. And it's telling times. When a man is on the floor with a knee to his neck and he can't breathe. Look at the world, we can't breathe. How many of you got masks on? We can't breathe. It's telling. The world is trying to tell us something. The world is trying to tell us something. Speak to me, do you think that's right? It's not right. It's unacceptable. And now I want to ask you one more question. Do you remember, everyone? Do you remember? You put your hands up when I asked you if you're black, if you're white. Everyone put their hands up, yeah? Do you remember that? I want you now to put your hand up. If you are a person, put your hand up. Do you see everyone's hands up? Do you see their hands up? Did one person put their hand up before the other? No, everyone's hands up. At the same time, because there's one race, that's the human race. What race? Tell me what race? What race is it? What race? What race? I want to put your hands up and put your fist in the air and say, what race? My name is Vib, thank you very much.
Just before for us to do the whole 9-minute silence, I will introduce you to Yonina Silva.
Well spoken and very calm, but I'm angry, I'm vexed. Black people out here, are you vexed? Yeah. Right? Anger is an emotion, it's a valid emotion, and people look at me and say, why did you get angry so fast? It's kind of like the Incredible Hulk, right? That's my secret, I'm always angry. I've been angry for 25 years. Racism doesn't affect everybody in the same way. When I was younger, kids calling you racist names, that happened all the time. The first racism that really affected me, and I'm here for all you black boys at the back as well, because I am you, yeah? Young people growing up. The first racism that affected me was teachers. The little kids could say what they want, because I could deal with them. It was teachers, it was education. So I'm here, my message is, parents of black children, you need to be the teachers. Educate your kids. Black history matters. Black Lives Matter, so Black History Matters. Go on Amazon, buy some books. Black History Matters. And my experience with the teachers was, 25 years ago, all the black people in year, wherever you were, used to hang out together, play football together. I ain't gonna name the school, but it ain't here no more. In Ipswich. And the teachers told us we can't hang out together anymore because people are scared. This is 25 years ago. I work in education and I'm seeing this today. So don't let other people educate your children. Educate your children yourself. If you've got a black child, a mixed race child, if you're not black yourself, you have a black child, educate that child. Put history on the walls, so when they wake up, they see history on the walls and they feel proud of themselves. My dad's here somewhere. I used to wake up and see a poster of Shaka Zulu on my wall. I know who I am. Black History Matters. Thank you.
I was kind of shook to come here, but I just thought, yeah, let me just, because there's people like me that don't really speak like that. Just like, yeah, I'll just allow it, because I'll be like, yeah, anyway, cool. I have to start with a story when I was younger. In my school, I used to go to school in Colchester before Ipswich. And I know, and I hope all of you know, a child cannot be born racist. No one can be born racist. That is what people tell you. You cannot be born racist. I'm telling you that now. I remember the conversation I had with my mother because I know how it started. I was at school. I did not know I was coloured. I did not know I was black. I didn't know I was dark, right? I didn't know anyone was white. You don't know that when you're young. I went and I asked the popular kids, because I wasn't a popular kid at school when I was younger. I said, can I play with you guys? They said no. Just like that guy had said before, and my brother had said before. I asked, can I play with you guys? They said no. I asked why? Because my parents said so. I asked, what did your parents say? They said, if you want to play with us, you have to give us 50p. They said, you have to pay us if you want to play with us. And I did not know what was going on. I didn't know. How could I know? Because I haven't been told. I went home and I spoke to my mum. I asked her, I told her that she was upset, my dad. And they were telling me, you need to know because you are different. You need to know. I remember the conversation, my mum was telling me that I am different. Because I didn't know. You're not born knowing. That is what society tells you. You are not born knowing. I remember the conversation that my mother told me when I was dark, when I was coloured, when I was black. She told me that. So we need to start educating our children.
I've been battling a lot. Some of you have seen it, some of you have spoken to me about it, battling a lot of people. And the biggest thing that's come out of it is there's just a lot of, or a lack of education from the ground up. People are talking so much nonsense, which just shows that they don't understand not what only we have to go through, but they're denying that it's even there. They don't understand the racism that has been built in from the moment they were born. And I'm talking about all of us. Like Eli said, for black children in this town and for the whole country, if your parents aren't educating you, you're not getting it from anywhere else. In school, it was like a week of the civil rights movement and a week of slavery, and that was it. It's not enough. We are taught all sorts of things from this country that have been whitewashed, excuse the pun, but they have been whitewashed. The truth needs to be taught so that people of this country can see what they have done, the wrongs they have done, as well as the rights they have done. Racism is taught. The difference between colour of skin is taught. It was taught when the slave ship first went to Virginia. It was taught when the first slave ships came here. It was taught that if you're black, you are less than. That is a lie. I'm not having that. That is a lie. Yeah. I've got so many thoughts going around my head how to structure this, and it's all coming out. But my main thing is I want everyone, not just black, white, to educate yourselves. It is vital, because when you educate yourselves, you can educate the next generation, and the generation after that, and the generation after that. And the way that racism has been taught, it will be taught that it is a lie, and it will be eradicated. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. Well, send them your heart, so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. And so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the one to make a brighter day, so let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making, we're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, and there seems no hope at all, but if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall. Well, and realize, oh, that a change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
All you black girls out there, young, old, I don't care, you are black queens. Don't let anyone tell you what you cannot do. The black girls in this world, the black girls in this world, we uplift, we love, all we do is love. All we do is love, and we just get beaten down all the time. When I was a kid, I was made fun of my features. I was made fun of my lips, I was made fun of my hips, my bum. But now this is a trend. And they want to use a white woman to use her as my trend, as my features. No, we had these features. We've been had these features. Don't make my features a trend. I'm so happy to the day that all people from all races came together and we believe in one thing, that racism should not be a thing. I was thinking, I remember when my mom sat me down and told me I was going to be treated differently because some next Common Island called me a nigger. I was so confused, and when my mom told me, yes, that will happen, I said, why? Why would that happen? I thought I was 10 years old. I thought maybe in the year 2020, this wouldn't even be a thing. It will not even be a thing. But look where we are. It's still a thing. Why? This will end this year. I do not care. This will end this year. Racism will not continue. My black kings and queens, you are strong. You're independent.
We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's not give in.
Yo, so random end to the video. Battery died while I was out, and then I absolutely lashed it down. So we obviously just left. But yeah, it was a good protest. A lot of good points made. It's mad hearing some of the stories, what some of the people have been through, especially in this town. But yeah, let's make a change, people. Hopefully this is the start of something good. Black lives matter. No lives matter until Black lives matter. You know what it is.
We are the world.